Today we want to learn Dinei Taharat Niddah, which means how she clears herself in order to be able to get to the mikveh. The first thing she needs to do is wait those 5 days, machloket, if it's 4 or 5 days, machloket Shulchan Aruch and the Rama. Does she wait 4 or 5 days until she's ready to count the Shiva Nekim, which means from the time of the flow, from the time of the period, she waits either 4 days or 5 days. Even Sfaradim have a big machloket, although the Shulchan Aruch says that you should wait 4 days, but, and this is the opinion of Chacham Ovadia, but most Sfaradi opinions hold that you wait 5 days. Now, really, even if you want to hold like Chacham Ovadia, like the Shulchan Aruch, which is 4 days, but Lemaaseh, in the end of the day, usually a woman sees more than those 4 days. She sees 5 days, or sometimes more. So it's not Nogea, just very, very few women that see 4 days. But if a woman sees 4 days, she should inquire with her rabbi to see if how much she should keep. Minhag Sfaradim in most places is to keep 5 days, and once the days are finished and she's ready to do the Hefsek Tahara, so let's say it's on the 5th day, before the night she'll do a Hefsek Tahara. And
does the minhag to do 5 days? Where is this minhag from?
There's many things that Sfaradim are noheg, like the Rema. For instance, when we spoke about Basar B'Chalav, we saw that there's something called Tafshil Shel Basar, that the Shulchan Aruch says in Peitet, that something that was cooked together with meat is considered not meat, and you don't have to wait for it 6 hours. That's what the Shulchan Aruch says. And the Rama says you do have to wait for Tafshil Shel Basar 6 hours. The Rama says, and Kaf HaChaim says that the minhag for the Sfaradim is like that Rama, and many, many places like that. So they picked up, although it's not that many, but they did pick up in some places like the Rama. And when we come to this bdika called Hefsek Tahara, which is the first bdika, the first check a woman does, that's a very important bdika, because that bdika takes her from Cheskat Tum'ah to Cheskat Tahara. Therefore, it must be done correctly, and it must come out clean. Clean doesn't mean that it's totally clean, that the cloth is totally clean. It means that doesn't have a red color. Now, what is a red color? For that, each person should inquire with his rabbi, or with a rabbi that understands colors, because that is something that you have to learn and be and have the understanding. And therefore, that bdika called Hefsek Tahara should be done, and that is the first bdika and the most important bdika. That bdika, when you come to do it, should first have a good cleaning inside. A woman should either take a bath, not a shower, a bath, cleaning inside, and the purpose of that cleaning is that no dam should come out afterwards. Sometimes, if she didn't clean well, or she didn't clean at all, there's a certain blood that's hiding inside the folds. And therefore, when she does the bdika, it would come out on the bdika. And really, she was metameh herself, or she didn't get a good bdika for no good reason, because that dam was there beforehand. And if she would clean it out, a good bdika would be able to come out. And sometimes she'll miss that dam in the bdika and it will come out the next day, and she's metameh herself and she'll have to restart. So therefore, this is called the Etzat Tova, a good idea to do that cleaning well. If a woman can take that bath, that's the best thing. If she can't take a bath because she's not in a place where it's available to take a bath, so she should clean inside, or go to the bathroom, and in the faucet try to clean inside as much as she can. And if that is not even available, she could clean inside with another cloth, just to make sure everything's clean, and then do the bdika. And if she didn't do that at all, because it wasn't available, or she didn't do it, so since it's a good idea to do so, it's still a good bdika if she did the bdika and it came out clean. Some want to say that if she didn't do it purposely, it might be more chamur. But after she does this bdika, she changes her clothing. She puts white garment. She puts white underwear, and she needs to check she needs to check her linen, put white linen on white sheets, and although today there's really no purpose for putting those white sheets, as Moshe finds his rights, because if you're wearing underwear, so anything that you'll see would first be on the underwear, so you don't need those white sheets, but still, he says the minhag is to put white sheets. So unless a woman can't put, she doesn't have, or whatever it is, she should change her linen to white sheets. אחר הרחיצה תחליף את בגדיה הפנימיים לבגדים לבנים נקיים ובדוקים. Right? One of the things that we need to know is that it's not enough that it should be white, it should be checked as well. Because the whole idea is to see if there's something there, and if you're putting something that's not checked, it might be that there's a stain already there, and you defeat the purpose. You need to check, see that it's clean first. ותשים על מיטתה סדינים לבנים נקיים ובדוקים. ובדיעבד, אם החליפה את בגדיה הפנימיים, די בכך. As I explained before, it's enough בדיעבד that she's wearing white underwears, because that's going to hold everything. Why do you need to have that white and clean and checked clothing? יש לכך שתי סיבות. א', שלא תמצא כתם מלפני הפסק טהרה ותחשוב שהוא אחריו. First of all, because maybe there's a stain in there that's there from beforehand, so you want to make sure that right now it's clean, so she's not going to see something that was there previously, and she'll think she's tameh when it was there before. Secondly, that she'll know her status. It's very important that a woman should know her status. When she has a clean clothing, she'll find out her status, and that's the reason you check. The bdika that you'll do for hefsek tahara is, it needs to be two things. First of all, it needs to get to the chorim and sdakim. Chorim and sdakim, there's a lot of folds in there, so she needs to go with the finger and check, finger wrapped with the cloth, check every place in there, touch every place in that chorim v'sdakim. And secondly, it needs to go as far as you can. That also needs to be done after you finish that, to put inside what we call a moch dachuk in the time of Ben Hashmashot. Ben Hashmashot is the twilight, which means it's from Shkia to Tzeta Kochavim. She puts that cloth, another cloth, after she checked with the first cloth for Hefsek Tahara, she puts another one inside, and she leaves it in there. And if there's anything, it will catch that dam into that cloth and absorb it. Yeah. That bdika, again, צריכה להיות יסודית ביותר. It needs to be thorough, and it needs to be done correctly. לכן תכניס את בדק הבדיקה באותו מקום, בעומק ובצדדים. She has to put it inside into as deep as she can, and twist it around any place. How could that be done? The idea, the best way to do it is to pick up one leg, and then it makes it much more available to do it in a correct way. If she checked, אם בדקה עצמה יפה בחורים ושקים בעומק כפי כוחה ולא הגיע למקום שהבעל מגיע בביאתו, הבדיקה מועילה. Which means she can try as far as she gets, but really it needs to get as far as the Ever Tashmish gets. If she didn't reach there, it's still okay, and that בדיקה is kosher. אם אינה יכולה לבדוק בחורים וסדקים בחמת תפירות או פצעים שיש אחר לידה, עליה לשאול חכם. There's sometimes that a woman can't do a bdika all the way in. Why not? Either after labor, she gave birth, so it's very painful, it's a surgery, she can't really go so far in. Also sometimes a woman has wounds or other things, and when we're talking about kala, definitely a kala can't go so far in. So how much would they be able to go in? So for kala, we're saying it's enough to do what we would call kinuach, as far as she can go without having pain. And a woman in labor also, after labor, she's 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks after giving birth, also she can go so far inside. We would be mekel after she'elat chacham with such bedika as well. בתולה תבדוק עד מקום שידה מגעת, ואף על פי שאינה מגעת לכל החורים וסדקים, בדיקתה טובה, ובלבד שלא תסתפק בכינוח בלבד. Says כינוח is not enough. What does he call כינוח? כינוח is normally just going a little bit. but if you can go a little bit more than that, that's what we said before, that should be fine. What do you do with the cloth? If it's still, if you have good light or it's still day outside, you could still check it, you could see it outside on the daylight. The best light is the daylight, not the light you have in your house. Why? Some lights give a different reflection to the color. If either they make it too light, too bright, or they make it too red. You have a regular bulb, that intense, that makes the bdika a little bit more red. And you'll be mistaken by seeing that, thinking that you're seeing something red, which is really not. And that's something that we see all the time. When you check those bdika cloth, it depends very much on what light you have. Fluorescent would make it more light. But regardless, those two lights are not the correct light you should look at, rather at the daylight. And it's better when it's sun outside, you don't look right on the sun, but on the shade. When you take a look at such a place, you'll be able to see the correct color of the bdika. If a woman checks and she sees that it's tameh, she did hefsek tahara, boom, it's tameh, it's not clean. She still could do again the hefsek until it's night. When is night? Night is shkia. Once shkia, she doesn't do bdikot anymore. Some poskim are mekel b'diavad, if she did bdika afterwards, just a little bit after shkia, Rav Moshe allows a little bit after shkia as well. And for that, a person should ask Chacham before his mekel, she should do the bdika, and then ask Chacham in case that she was very late, right? And it's a little bit after shkia. So if she does the bdika, or she should do the bdika, she should not miss it, and ask the Chacham if it's kosher. But lechatchila, a person should try to do it a little bit beforehand. So if the bdika didn't come out clean, she'll have a second chance doing the bdika over again. Again, first she would take a bath, clean everything inside, and then do the bdika. If the bdika didn't come out clean, she can take a bath again, clean again, everything inside, and do the bdika over again. But that bdika shouldn't be done immediately after the bath. Why? Chazon Ish says that. Because if you go into the bath and you do bdika as soon as you come out, of course it's going to come out clean. That's not a proof. You just cleaned it, even if dam comes out, but it doesn't come out as a flow every second. So therefore,
who cares? There's no dam.
There's no dam. That's not an indication. We want to know that the Ma'ayan is Ma'ayan Satum, not Ma'ayan Patuach, which means she's not anymore bleeding. She's not anymore in her period, although it's the end stage, but it's not there anymore. So it's not like a regular period on the beginning that it keeps on flowing. Rather, right now, it's every little bit comes out. So therefore, you wait a little bit. How much? About 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. You wait that time, and then she can do the bdika over again. So Isha שבדקה בהפסק טהרה ומצאה עצמה טמאה, כדאי שתלכות את עצמה ותבדוק פעם נוספת לפני השקיעה. כי אפשר, he says an idea, why so? כי אפשר שהדם נשאר בגופה מראייה קודמת ועכשיו אין דמה יוצא, ולשווא היא דוחה את הפסק טהרתה. Maybe that's dam that she found from beforehand, and therefore she should do it again. Regardless, that's the way we'll do things. She can try it over and over again until she gets a correct and good bdika. Well, that's the minhag poskim, not to do it immediately right after. אחר הבדיקה, צריכה אישה להניח בתוך אותו מקום מוח דחוק שמלא כל חלל הפרוזדור ויגיע עד לרחם או קרוב לו. Which means, she takes that cloth as we explained, she puts it inside, she leaves it there for the whole time of ben hashmashot. Sometimes a woman can't put that moch because it's very uncomfortable and she's after, let's say, after labor, as we explained before. So it's painful for her, she can't. A woman that's very sensitive. So the poskim would allow her not to put that moch because the lashon of the Shulchan Aruch in Kutzad Vav is that it's chumra lechatchila. This is how the Shulchan Aruch says with the Ramas parentheses. It's a chumra lechatchila. So sometimes a chumra lechatchila one should skip because sometimes you can't do it. את המוח דחוק יש להניח אחרי הבדיקה לפני השקיעה. Before the שקיעה, you put it in there, ויש שם כל בין השמשות. Over here in America, בין השמשות is a little bit longer, so put it a little bit more. After that, she takes it out and she checks. If there's a good light, as we explained, and she sees it's clean and she recognizes the color, or her husband recognizes the color, that's perfect. You could be Mekel, you could be Matir, and start the Shiva Nekim. If they don't know.
No, how you can check it if it's been after being shmashut? It's not in the or.
No, right. If you can, all you need when you have something doubtful, you go outside and you look at it in the light. If you have something doubtful, you shouldn't be posek yourself on it anyway. You should show it to a rabbi. But when you look at the light that you have in your house, and it's clear to you, you recognize the color. How do you recognize the color? From past experience. Usually chatanim, they don't have any experience. So usually they are more likely to go to the rabbi until they pick up that this is a question and this is not a question. You see that something that's not a question, you don't even need to ask, or something that's completely no good. You understand from previous times that the rabbi said it's terrible, so I understand that's terrible. Something that's questionable, you can check and see right away. Same dinim would apply, by the way, if a woman become tumeah through a ketem. Same idea, she'll go to the same process. Ketem is a stain, we explained. She'll do exactly the same thing. She'll keep those 5 days and then start from there the Shiva Nekim. We didn't speak about the Shiva Nekim yet. We're still in the Hefsek Tahara. Hefsek Tahara, you do with that cloth. That cloth has few conditions. One, that it should be white in order to be able to see the stain very clearly.
After a ketem, she needs to wait for 5 days?
Yes. Same thing. The cloth has to be white in order for it to be very visible. It needs to be soft in order for it to go every place inside the folds, chorim v'sdakim, and in order for her not to bruise herself inside and cause staining for no reason, and also that she'll be comfortable doing the bdika and not worry that if I use something that's a little bit rough, I'll bruise myself and she won't do a good bdika. Thirdly, it needs to be something that absorbs, because if it doesn't absorb, something like silky, let's say, so the dam can skip right through, right? There would be dam on it and it will fall out. And fourth, it needs to be clean. You can't use something that's not clean. Why do we need to know that if we have our cloth? Because many times women don't have that available. They're at work and they forgot to take the bdika cloth. And now what they're supposed to do, the invocation, very common, that they don't have the cloth with them. They didn't buy the cloth, and they ran out, and now they're home. What should they do? They don't want to go now to buy one. They feel embarrassed. They feel they don't have something around the area, a place that sells it. So therefore, what should they do? They can use a t-shirt, right? They can use their t-shirt and do the bdika with that. Can you do bdika with a napkin, as you said? In a place that a woman doesn't have anything else, as we explained right now, a cloth that's soft and clean and so on. So then a napkin could also be used. A napkin, a bounty, not a tissue, because a tissue rips, it doesn't hold. But something that would be able not to rip easily and that she could do the bdika correctly, only in a case that she really stuck, she doesn't have anything else to do. The time to do that bdika is before Shkiyat HaChama, as we explained, not after. How long before Shkiyat HaChama? Best is as close as to Shkiyat HaChama as possible, but leave a little bit time that if it didn't come out good, you still have a second chance to check. Half an hour, that's usually the best time. But diavad, it's still considered close to Shkiyat HaChama from Mincha Ktana, at least Mincha Ktana. So that is something that b'diavad would be considered still samuch lashkiya, although it's much beforehand, it's 2.5 hours beforehand, but still that's still considered a good bdika. On Shabbat as well, she'll do the bdika beforehand, and she needs to prepare everything before Shabbat starts. In a case that a woman accepted already Shabbat by lighting the candles, and now she says, "Oh, I forgot to do Hefsek Tahara," and it's still not night, she'll be available. It's still possible to do the Hefsek Tahara, although it seems like a contradiction. In one hand, we're saying that it's Shabbat for her. On the other hand, she wants to do Hefsek Tahara, to be considering that the day beforehand. Still, that would be b'diavad, okay, if she didn't do it on time, we would consider that okay to do Hefsek, although the night is, although she considered that already a Shabbat.